Amen. Yo, listen, I meant to tell the spiritual guardian and guides, if a person is a part of your body and your purity of your physical, it's June 24th, 2019. If a person of your purity and your physical, remember this. This is me, Ralph Lane, also known as 2019, also known as Ralph Lane New York ID, but I'm on a vacation for my mental. And also, I'm over here high up north right now, and I'm just enjoying the my social recovery for social economics and also international security. And I'm just letting you know, if you have an individual in life that claims to be of your purity and of the purity of your consciousness, I'm gonna just tell you just like this at a paradigm of time, or of the purity of your physical, they shouldn't ask you for any sexual magic, especially if they're not me, Ralph Lane. They shouldn't ask you for any sexual magic for yourself or inside of you. And remember, there was three people that just passed on a motorcycle with a red car behind them that has nothing to do with me, Ralph Lane Jr. And then this is a part of the social, another car, a red car, two red cars, another motorcycle with a guy in the green. Those people, everybody that's telling you, I'm the only one you need to be concerned about. I'm your real husband, the one Ralph Lane Jr. making this recording. All of them in the background is a bunch of pieces of shit, or just a part of a social habitation of an empress. And if any empress, spiritual guardian guide, if anybody asks you, there's another one that was going the opposite way, another car, two actually, a blue and a black one, and another one in front of me. And let me just show you, if anybody in social economic systems, even at a time, and let me let you know something, let me let you see something to know for sure. And I'm just showing you for sure about situation. Now, if anybody asks you about your purity of about, and I'm counting the minutes. If anybody asks you to do sexual magic for you to do sexual magic for them, let me just be real. If they're not me, I'm the only one you do sexual magic for. If they're not me, then don't do nothing for them. Because let me tell you something. If they're part of your legacy and lineage, you remember, you're my wife in all paradigm of time, literally, and you do martial arts. And it has nothing to do with no funny ring magic or some Haitians type shit. I'm talking about some real life. You're my real wife, and your energy already let you know how real what I'm saying is. Now, it has nothing to do with any sexual magic or anything, any physics or elements or jewel stones. Literally, it's just to let you know, if anybody inside of you asks you for sexual magic, any spiritual guardian on all planets or moons or suns or earths or stars or star cluster, astrology or star or at constellations or star charts, don't do it for them, because you do literal martial arts. So what do you think? You can't have a person manipulating your physical inside of your physical and then trying to fuck you up. You can't have a person knowing that you do like trying to manipulate. Say if they're a disease and they're trying to get a form of comfort in a sexual energy within you. How you gonna know the difference if you do sexual magic for them? How you gonna do the difference if you're being manipulated from your own emotions? A person trying to attach themselves to your emotions. This is why, if a person's of your purity, they're gonna have certain things. And I even did certain things for individuals. If my wife is really manifesting, she went to the store, nobody will be able to hurt her if she go to the store, because I did something where only the feminine beings would know and male beings wouldn't know, and then you wouldn't be attacked by the store. And if you were going to please me certain type of other ways of your own equality of your emotions, that if you go to the store, only the feminine beings will ask you where I was, and then you would, if they wanted to be intimate with me, they would find me. They wouldn't do nothing to you. But if any masculine being, they wouldn't know nothing that's going on. And if any masculine or feminine being asks you for sexual magic favors, you don't do it, because you got to know the difference of yourself and the difference of the order of one's human condition of anatomy, of the reason of one's star chart, and the reason of one's dignity. And you got to know the difference of the physical reality. Now, pardon me, I was rubbing some alcohol on my face, and then I was rubbing it so much because a little cut I had on my face, and the oils, because the turmoils other people was, I'm an element also of element covering, the turmoils other people was making a certain type of way, a funny type of way. And let me show you something else that you need to pay attention to. My hand to this car going in over there. because another person ain't gonna do certain things a certain type of way and try to manipulate the physics. So if anybody try to create some type of turmoil or some type of physical reality trying to manipulate your physics, you know, you gotta remember it's gonna show up in turmoil even as I reflect in a paradigm. So they'll probably try to make me sweaty or oily or certain type of ways. And then you gotta remember certain other people that did sexual magic a certain type of way in the paradigm because they wanted to know who an individual was, and if an individual was around them, they'll know off a glare or if it's something, if it's too much, they'll know certain things a certain type of way, if you know, depending on the level they're looking for. But if anybody asks you for sexual magic and you're a spiritual guardian guide or my empress, celestial and celestial empress, or anything, or to your whole star chart to the highest level, beyond highest level, manifests it. Anybody asks you for sexual magic, you got to remember at the time you don't do sexual magic for them, because another person, if they're manipulating you, there's a person going in their house across the street, so remember that. So if they're manipulating the form of physics of the recording I'm making, you got to remember all these physics I told you in the same person from the car where they went in the driveway. But listen, if anybody ever tries to manipulate you for sexual magic and tries to get a form of sexual magic from you, you got to remember never to grant them. There's like another car coming up the block right now. I'm not going to show you all this. There's another fucking station wagon type car coming up the block right now. But you listen, if another person at a time that literally, I'm serious, it just passed, so you take my word for it now, I don't care. Now, if a person ever tries to manipulate you when it comes to sexual magic and stuff, and then they try to say, ask you for sexual magic and you're an empress, you can't let a disease manipulate your emotions to get to you, to manipulate. It's like a base and steak. You don't want it to manipulate inside the inside of your chemistry and then not knowing the difference at the time. Because if they're your purity and purity, they're going to be a part of you. They asking for sexual magic for another social economics, another point of enlightenment. I'm the one that connected all the points of enlightenment throughout all paradigm of time, so nobody should be remaking certain things. And if somebody's remaking certain things, they're causing a pimple or AIDS, or in a paradigm of time a bad empress, which we already passed those times already, so that shouldn't even be around. A bad empress that done defiled me being the emperor, and then next thing you know, their chemistry is just being finished a certain type of way of their social economics. But you know, we would have another empress that would be here comforting me if that was happening, that kept her situation in order. So, and on top of it, another empress that would be here with me as me being her husband, and also pleasing me with her social economics, and then covering herself with other empresses or concubine empresses at certain points of social economics that never defiled themselves, that's still clean even in their humane condition. Because if you know, I'm a real doctor, so a situation would have to be done a certain type of way, because a person would have to need help just in case to operate on their situation. They wouldn't be driving or wasting gas or causing wrong type of emotion, especially when a man wants a form of love. So if you have these chicks that's doing funny things like that, then that's just chicks. That's when you're gonna know you have a more than what you think, a pimple a certain type of way, and you're gonna know you're in some serious trouble. And then on top of it, you gotta watch out, because there's a food marketplace that I go to. It's called Food Market, and these people, I think, tried to, one, they attacked me in there a couple times inside the place, and then a certain type of way people would have noticed, and then another time I think they try to cause a form of entrapment with the energy to make certain things look a certain type of way, because they're manipulating somebody somewhere else on some physics, and they're probably jealous of me through time, or a disease of emotions of an empress that's just, you ever been in a bad relationship in a paradigm of time of niggas that fucked you over for money, you started yelling at them, or some nigga in a bad relationship that made you mad, and then a certain type of way, your purity, and then you get mad at yourself a certain type of way, but you're trying to correct yourself or something. They're doing funny physics at the time, and then they're trying to manipulate the social chemistry so you wouldn't realize when they're giving you a disease, because another person just wanted to cause your divorce to the point, or they just wanted your magic, or make you into the super hamburger where they literally kill you for power on some Illuminati. You understand? Like Illuminati is like aluminum pan that's like a party pan that they break down to a way after they done ate the goods from the inside, and then absorb your magic. Because you gotta remember, if you're my empress, if you get sick and feel weak at a paradigm of time, it's because you granted other people magic within you that you weren't supposed to grant, or other people that did magic or did certain other things for other people in social economics that probably did a martial art bout that led them to your destruction a certain type of way, your physics in a martial art about, or some type of confrontation, and then probably magically they did it and it caused an upset in emotions and chemistry, and then it caused your fall a certain type of way. It led up to your fall of your physics. So if another person's doing funny physics, you got to watch out for all these type of situations. And I'm gonna just tell you just like this: if another person did a form of physics of asking for sexual magic, they're probably just trying to manipulate your chemistry, because the fact is, if they're asking you for that, if it's going outside of your purity, that means they're not me. That means that's a person that's already giving away your sacredcy. It's just like what I told you on my YouTube recordings with the weed. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna put this gonna go on YouTube, but it's just like what I told you with the YouTube recordings and the weed. And then on top of it is the same thing as of a person trying to fuck up your physics, where they're just trying to get a form of magic from you, and then they're just trying to fuck you up because they're not me, and then they're doing all funny things. And then let me show you another thing. You know, this is just a point of social economics of funny situations in certain type of ways. But I just let you know the difference even in the physics, because one has to know the preciseness of the alertness a certain type of way, even of the physical reality. So if a person's doing something, I'm already handling the situation, and then another person ain't gonna realize a certain type of way, because you know it's just the reality. So I'm just gonna be real with you. So if a person and pardon me because I was doing something with my hand just now touching the garden, but other things. But if a person's trying to manipulate physics, and they're trying to do things to fuck you over, and you being being the empress, they're already gonna try certain other things a certain type of way. So you gotta be able to be militant when it comes to your physics of your social economics a certain type of way. So I'm gonna just be real with you. If they ask you for sexual favors, is a person already defiling your point of existence? And remember, I was touching the garden, so there's plants in the garden and all type of stuff. So when you check, you're going to see a certain type of reality. And that was my finger. So, I'm just going to be real with you. Another person is just mad at other situations, and they're just trying to do forms of manipulation of physics. And then you just got to have to catch them. Just like I'm watching two birds fight each other right now. So I'm just going to be real with you right now. So, if a person at a point in time, there's literally two birds that was fighting each other. Look, there's two birds over there. And I'm going to let you see my hand still. But there's two birds over there that was being a form of aggressive with each other. So, I'm just gonna be real with you a certain type of way. So if you have people that's manipulating the form of physics, and they actually for sexual magic to go to somebody else, that means they're opening doors for another person's chemistry to fuck you up, and that means they're not a part of your purity and purity. I'm the one that made your purity and purity all through times, and parity and pure, and what you say is you purity also, and you can spell it with an E. But I'm the one that made the purity all through the paradigm of time for you to be okay. So, another person trying to do funny things, you'll know the difference in the physics and the physical reality. So I'm going to just be real. So if another person's trying to cause, even my energy's father also, and if another person's trying to cause all type of, I'm space magi chi, literally, and I kept telling you this. And if another person's trying to manipulate forms of physics, I'm just being real with you, you better be careful about certain things, because I'm gonna be real with you as you doing social economics, because I am watching even down to skull and bones and skull and bone magic. I'm gonna just be skull and bone metaphysics, even down to the science, you know what I'm saying, and just the gathering to uplift one's emotions and other things. I'm gonna just and make sure that I receive everything I want. But I'm gonna just tell you just like this: if a person asks you for sexual magic, anybody else, and they're of your purity, and they go in other places with other empresses, that's a person already giving away your sacredcy. That's basically a disease just trying to manipulate you, even if it's of your purity, of your physical, of your white anatomy or any other anatomy. Because I told you, if it's not me, Rafael and JR, I'm the real purity that can never manipulate you at any time in physical reality. I'm the one that made all the empresses of all space, of all education, of social economics, of sacredcy, even the ones that's the sacredcy that points at other points or star points that people didn't know information for. I'm the one that made all of them, of all planets or moons, or sun, all social economics, social meaning solar systems also. And then all I'm just letting you know, if anybody tries to manipulate and ask you for sexual magic, that would be if a person does that, and especially tries to hurt me in the paradigm of time, they're a disease instantly. Or if they try to cause me to hurt myself, they're a disease instantly. They try to cause you to hurt yourself. You do martial arts, it's like meditating. You got to get certain things out of you. You got to know the difference of your physical reality. If you're being manipulated by emotions at the time that's driving you all crazy in different ways and stuff, that's a person that's trying to get to your magic to make you a fucking burger that they go order in Burger King on a platter or wrapped up, and they just didn't give a fuck about you. So, a person asking you for that, you don't do nothing like that for, because they don't need to ask you for nothing like that. If they're part of your physical, they shouldn't ask you for nothing like that. And if they're going somewhere else, like they want you to go be with somebody else, then that's a person that doesn't care what happens to you and leads to your depression slowly and just wants to die and doesn't care about what happens to your social physics. So that's a person that just wants you to have no dignity or without even a soul or a spirit or a form of any energy or physical or in the physical or spiritual in any physics reality. So a person that asks you for sexual magic, do a favor, you gotta remember what I told you, because a person shouldn't be going to go out their purity, and if they have your purity, you shouldn't do sexual magic for them because they're of you. So if you're being pleased, they'll get what they're supposed to get a certain type of way without fucking you up. Now, if they're frustrated and they're causing certain other things and all type of stuff, and they want you to be alone and want you to be with nobody because they're trying to learn your physics, that means that's your inner body trying to control you. That means something, and if it's not me, Raphael JR, then anybody else, it's definitely something wrong, because that means it's a person trying to kill you instantly because they don't want you to have control. And if they're trying to please you, stay away from me, well, it's going to be the death of you either way, regardless, because I'm the one that made you. So it's like, if they're telling you to stay away from your conscience, like they're probably saying they're going to shoot you as soon as they learn a level of physics, how to manipulate you at a level. Hopefully you'll cross your hand or smack your face, or, you'll smack a dildo across your face or some type of stupid shit, or put a dildo to your mouth and then they'll just blow your head off and shit. And then next thing you know, they'll probably take the same elements and then make an exploding volcano dildo, like a volcano, a fucking class experiment, and then you'll be finished. So you gotta be careful, because other niggas will lead you to that situation and then cause, of your physics. And then, hey, I'm just telling you, like I said, I'm in here for social recovery. So I'm just giving you warning signs and warnings about everything. So if another person manipulating you, that's just too bad and stuff. Because if a person put their hands on me, that's a person already gonna kill you and stuff, So, it doesn't even matter. So it's just the reality, especially if you're white anatomy, if your emotions going crazy and they just wearing a certain type of covering and you don't know what's going on, what protects them at a time or what's really going on. It's just too bad for them. That's their stupidity of what's going on a certain type of way. And then, I just can't say nothing about individuals certain type of ways, just whatever. I don't give a fuck what a person tells me. So, I'm already at my social recovery. I'm already doing what I'm doing for myself. Anybody asks you sexual magic, you need to stop it instantly, because anybody else except for me, Raphael JR, but if you need to stop it instantly, because if you give them any sexual magic or pleasure, they'll run rampant and lead to your destruction outside of yourself, and then you understand what chicken pox or AIDS are, and it'll show up outside of your physical, because they'll be wanting to expose you. If a person going to another social economics exposing yourself, they're going outside of your physical. So they're going to give you like certain AIDS or certain things. It's going to be exposures to your physical, or cuts, or leading to your cuts or abrasion, or especially if they're doing dominatrix sex, that's like manipulation of the physics. Say somebody was raping you, and then they tell you to go do dominatrix at the time. That means you're probably part of a rape, and they just probably want you to enjoy what they were doing to you a certain type of way before they kill you. You never know how traumatic the experience was, or whatever the situation. I'm just warning you, because I'm a real doctor too, so I gotta warn you of the different symptoms or certain physics to look out for on a level of physics, so you could know how to protect and regard yourself. So you gotta know about all these type of situations and be careful. I love you. I try to explain everything to you, but all I could tell you is regard yourself, know how real situations are, don't be manipulated by other people, and just listen to everything I said. And I'll make another recording another time when I'm walking outside, love one. But also, I have enough time. I'll tell you this. If a person asks you for sexual magic, if they're a part of you, they don't need no disease to get to you. So you got to be precise. Be careful of the situations that go on, and don't be manipulated at any level of physics. Know yourself, love one.